absolute cinema.
Hello, awesome games done quick. Welcome to Contra Operation Galuga. I am MrCab55. We're playing a different run and gun game than Mega Man today. Joining me today is player 2, Khanster.
What's up? I am Khanster786. Well, you
know, you might end up being player 1, depending on
He
how
is
someone
actually
it's
player 1.
whoever tags in first.
That's all right.
Exactly.
That's fine. That's fine.
My name is ateatree, big fan of run and gun shmups and beat 'em ups.
My name is Tempest Mask 1000. Some of you know me as Steve, and I like to take my run and guns to the extreme 2.
Okay, so let's see. We've got our sync set up.
Yep, thank you to everyone's generosity for helping make sure that our runners play on hard today, which, funny enough, is the one that they were practicing, so...
Yep, it would have been very interesting to play on normal again. I don't think there's that many differences, but weapon retention, we just want to make no, I want durability.
Yes, you want the ones that are the things you need, not the ones that look like the power-ups you need.
I know, right?
So yeah, as far as, Contra, you're expecting a Konami code. These kind of
Here's your Konami.
Yes, this
Here's
perk
your
system
Konami code.
is essentially, we're actually going to give our players 3 points of life, which is something we'll talk about a little bit later. It's kind of like giving you more lives.
So we're going to start
count
this
us
run.
down?
Yes, and it'll be on 3, 2, 1 Contra. So go for a tree.
3, 2, 1, Contra!
Contra, baby! It's time for some run and gun action. Konami is bringing their franchise back, and with the help of Way Forward, nonetheless, the same developers as Contra 4 for the Nintendo DS. So you've got some good hands with experience on the project. But Cab, Khanster, what do we need to know about this game?
So it's a lot like Contra 1. We're starting out in a jungle. We want to get our hands on that spread gun, that classic spread gun. Although, much like Contra 4, we only have 3 bullets out at first. And, oh, okay, there we go. We made it to the first cutscene. And Khanster, are you shooting down the helicopter again?
You said it was okay.
I said it's not okay. It's all right, though. We'll figure it out.
It'll be repaired in 30 minutes or less.
So right away, besides our normal selection of weapons here, I'm still waiting for other weapons to show up, but we are going to use some of these overdrives. Machine guns, not the best one in the world per se, but having an invincibility shield's kind of nice. It's there. I don't have anything else to use, so we're going to use it. It does expend the weapon, so I don't have that machine gun anymore. And so Khanster's going to get his second spread gun very soon. And very soon after that, I'm going to get a heat seeker. Now, the different characters in this game, so Khanster's playing as Lance Bean, Red Contra guy. He has a lot of the weapons we all know and love for a long time. I'm about to get the heat seeker, which for me looks like this weird laser beam thing. It's actually really, really strong. That's why we're playing as Brownie, for one reason.
Yeah, there are a ton of elements of this game that recall both other Contra games, as Way Forward is wont to do whenever they pick up a series and do a revival, like they did with Contra 4 on the DS some years back. And there's also a lot of this game that's kind of like a Gunstar Heroes in that you're switching between weapons. Particularly, you've noticed that Lance Khanster is already doing that rapidly because switching between your weapons with extreme frequency does up your DPS. You might also notice that if you played this game casually, you're not hearing any of the voiceover from the characters. There are a lot of really great voice actors in this game, but they do a voice line every time you switch a weapon, so that'd get old fast.
Yeah, a little bit more on that later with the casting, though, because shout out to PCB Productions for such a wonderful job here. Meanwhile, we've got the Super Wall coming up, a nice good old reference to not just the defense walls of Contra 1 and Hardcore Uprising, but Super C as well. You love to see it, and right there, right,
You
we're
love
already
to
on...
Super see him?
Am I doing the robot?
Thank you, I'll be here all around.
No.
Contra! So that's the first stage done. We've got a total of 8, as per typical standard affair of them Contra video games. We got the base stage coming up, except instead of the third-person view that you all may recall from the original arcade or NES port, we've got ourselves a good old auto-scroller with a bringing back of them hover bikes. You may recall them from Contra 3, the Alien Wars, as well as Contra Hardcore for the Genesis.
So, ateatree, what is this attacker called?
Right, yeah, now that you've got your weapon set up for bear, this is obviously Spreader's Revenge.
I have a sudden urge for turtle soup.
And tonight, we
Yes.
dine on it.
Right, very good.
So, the base stage, well, first we could make a quick shout to the different soundtrack variants, because you might have noticed that in the menu when setting up the run, you had the option to choose a different pack. There was the retro remixes, the Way Forward original stuff. There's the, I believe, some of which was done by Jake Kaufman, who also worked on Contra 4. And yeah, just a bunch of throwbacks via the retro pack as well. But I would imagine listening to the original bass theme for as long of a bass as this one can. It's not what we're used to.
Speaking of a long bass section, BeckaSketch, can you hit us with a couple of donations?
It did do the thing.
I sure can. We have $55 from Mrs. Cab, who
Hey.
says, we're screaming for you, Contra!
Contra!
Mrs. and Little Cab.
Thanks.
All right, we also have $25 from Mad Mega. Hey, Mr. Cab and Conster, good luck, and remember, Contra!
Contra!
You know, we didn't plan on this one, but I'm glad it happened this way.
Yeah, you know what?
With apologies to the audio team.
That's true.
I'm not apologizing.
We did not think this was going to happen at all, but shout outs to the back couch all the same. Y'all are the goats.
For a very long time, during Contra runs, there was an album from a band, the Mini Bosses, way back, and they had a guy in the crowd who just kept yelling Contra over and over again. And so this is all his fault. Shout out to that guy.
It all comes full circle. So now we're moving into the mini boss of this stage, and the lore of the game is the story is based on the first game for the most part, with a few original bells and whistles. Things take place on the Galuga Peninsula, hence Operation Galuga, or Contra OG. See what WayForward did there? So this is the Red Falcon's lieutenant that we are assigned to capture and interrogate. Bill Reiser normally and Lance Bean are the two commandos from the Contra unit EMC on this mission.
I don't think that was a successful interrogation.
We decided to attack aggressively.
I think he's got a bad case of
Yeah,
road rage
the interrogation is definitely over right now.
and a bad case of explosions as well.
He'll be okay. I'm sure we'll see him again. He'll be all right.
Want to bet? So right now you're also seeing something that's not typical with Contra runs in the health bar system. Now this has been used in previous Contra games. For instance, Hardcore on Genesis's Japanese version, which made the game a bit easier for those casually playing, but also Hardcore Uprising, which this game definitely takes quite a few bells and whistles from, such as the ability to dash. But then also the grappling hook from Contra 4 makes a nice little return as well.
True, we did see that in the last level.
Indeed, good for getting up to certain platforms or railings. And on top of that too, we've got the weapon stacking going on. Now, unlike Hardcore Uprising where you had a total of 3, you only have a total of 2, but this is still very good for the overcharge mechanic, the thing that, you know, the runners had already talked about, in which you pop one level of weapon and it has all these different effects. One you're going to see a lot of is the laser, because that can slow down time, which is especially good for racking.
It can
against-
slow down
use the
time.
laser.
Let me know if you want to let your weapon bubble loose.
It can slow down time for some
next
characters.
stage.
Okay.
The nature of the overcharge actually
I'll use
changes
the
depending
laser.
on what character you're playing as. We also just saw one other kind of de facto mechanic come into play, which is once you have your weapon stack set up, you're supposed to be trying to avoid every other weapon drop. You've probably dealt with that casually if you've played Contra. And unfortunately, we had a little something extra work its way into the mix, which is why you hear our runners discussing amongst themselves what to do with the weapons they have now and how to get back to where they want to be.
Yes, so anytime you hear the runners talk over us, it is very vital communication, absolutely necessary for any co-op run worth their salt. And for that matter, we've got ourselves coming up the main boss very, very soon. So remember we talked about that lieutenant guy? He's back and apparently gone hulking mutant.
I got laser.
Yeah,
So-
shoutouts to games like Rage. This is a very rage-coded boss, I would say.
I'll have to consult the Rage community on that one.
Yeah, well, we're going to speed our way through this a little slower than we would have liked because of some weapon switch-ups on accident, but the laser slows down everything that's not you and your bullets in the stage, so that is that boss very easily handled.
Contra! Normally that boss does have a second phase, but because there's 2 of us, we can stack on enough damage during that slowdown to do it. One player, I haven't been able to kill him just by myself before he gets off his laser and destroys that mainframe in the middle of the room, and as we know, there's a RAM shortage right now, so...
Yes, that was the main frame of the base where all of the remaining DRAM in the world of the 27th century
27th century.
lives, so...
Conster, I believe you called it saving the mainframe.
Yes, we have to save the frames.
All right, so moving into stage 3, the village. Oop,
There we go.
There we
That's
go.
That's because you use the laser.
So,
You know, this isn't Gunstar Heroes. You don't need both lasers to make a bigger laser.
yeah, and thankfully, unlike Excuse me, it had to happen once. Unlike Gunstar Heroes, where we had to worry about destroying certain buildings to cause the game to lag, there is no such thing here, which is absolutely wonderful. This is also where one of the original game characters resides and is a playable character at that. We should quickly talk about how they are playing on arcade mode, which holds up to 4 players tops, whereas compared to story mode, it's up to 2, and you only have a limited selection of characters to choose from. Whereas in arcade mode, you can unlock all different sorts of playable heroes, including several references to previous games.
Yeah, to wit, Brownie is not available in the story mode, if I remember right.
Yes.
Correct.
And one of the big things about Brownie is the advancement of technology. Like, this game really should have been in the science block. We're talking about hover bikes. We're talking about technology allowing you to double jump. So all of the Contra soldiers and the other characters can double jump. Brownie in particular can triple jump. So that gives you a lot of extra mobility, especially as we move through this vertical section here. And as we make our way up to the next section of the level, how about we hear from some donors out
Good.
there?
Thank you so much. I was waiting for this because I have a very special one. I have $39 from Tom Hewlett, who says, Contra OG game director here.
Yo.
I recognize that name. Let's go!
Contra!
Says, great to see the game represented on GDQ. I'm giving $1 for every year we've had this glorious series. Good luck to the runners. It's time for world records. Let's run aggressively.
Thank you so much, Tom. That was very generous of you.
We got time for one more, Becca.
All right, we have $20 from Metroid Master, here to support the homie Conster on his first GDQ run. Super proud of you and Mr. Cab for getting into AGDQ with Contra. Let's run and gun to beat cancer. Also, we'll donate an extra $20 if Conster, Cab, and the crowd do the Colossus Roar.
We miss you, Metroid Master. Wish you were here.
With more apologies to the audio team. Thank you for dealing with us.
Hey, I had to do it during my Castlevania run. What's one more going to do any harm for? All right, so coming into the boss, here's Gromidas from the original game, only this time it's learned that staying still is not really going to do much. So now it's going to employ a few new tactics, such as moving around.
You're saying it's going to attack aggressively.
Exactly.
Seems to be a running theme here.
Yeah, I mean, how long has Lance been saying that whole spiel?
39 years, I think.
Exactly, we just heard that. And so it'll also be using the tentacle tendrils to be guarding its head, which is the main weak point, and we're going to deal a lot of damage. Tree mentioned that swapping weapons is a huge help with this one, and yes, it has been continuing to do exactly that since Contra 3.
Yeah.
So
we were hoping for a pattern on this boss. There is a chance that it'll basically put both of its pincers in front of its face, in which case you can use the laser slowdown to hit all 3 at once, but still plenty fast enough.
All right, crowd, now we can do the thing. Contra!
I used the laser a little early on that boss too.
Got
It's hard sometimes to like figure out exactly when to use it. Use it too soon, the boss isn't vulnerable yet, and you're just kind of stuck shooting at nothing for a little bit. But next stage, we got
the
these hanger
laboratory.
things.
It's always good to see stages that remind you that the ducking mechanic in Contra can be especially helpful, because the intent here is that it lets you know your hitbox becomes ever the more smaller, and it's also good for hitting those low weak points as well. The key here is survival, because while Cap and Conster could have used the Konami code, they're choosing not to. And remember, you all donated for the hard difficulties, so despite the fact that they're making it look easy, this is still the highest difficulty of the game at play.
Yeah, this is Contra. Like, if we weren't doing the weapon swapping, if we weren't doing all the rest of the optimization that Cab and Conster have promised, or have practiced all this time, you'd see those live totals dwindling real quick, even with the extra health.
It's also worth mentioning that there's a bonus weapon drop mechanic, but the draw of it is that, well, for one, you'll notice the icon below their health bar. And once that's full, that's when it one's ready to pop.
You can tag in for a weapon drop, but the weapon that drops in is random. So the chances that it actually helps you are like 2 in 5 or 2 in 6.
A bit of a coin toss, or no, a D6 toss?
On into our insectoid mini-boss here. We had some arguments based on the number of legs, but I think insectoid is the right term.
We'll go with insectoid.
Look, my brain was not being very science-y.
I thought it's a crab.
My arch nemesis, Mr. Crab.
He makes a return.
MrCab55?
You'd be surprised how often I'm called that.
I had to write a note to make sure not to call you that. Thank you.
I love wonderful.
I love it.
Becca, do we got any other things to talk about, by the way?
We, of course, do. We have $25 from Nitro K, who said absolutely had to donate for my first and favorite Sonic game. Let's see that egg salamander fight. You guys were talking about insects. I think salamanders still eat those. We still need to make that incentive.
That would really help us take care of all the insects in this level.
Not to mention that it would be the first time Egg Salamander gets to be shown off at a main stage GDQ event. So I think we definitely need to see that happening, folks. And you will love the Hideki Naganuma soundtrack for it as well.
Oh, yeah. One more, Becca.
Sweet. I have $255 from Mr. Cab's sister.
Yo,
Hey, Sister
Wow.
Says, want to wish my big bro good luck on the run and also remind him that I was watching him absolutely destroy games in our basement growing up before it was cool. Love you, bro. Also, change is good, yeah?
change is good. Yeah.
Good.
Change is good.
Change is-
Yeah, that's one of those voice lines that you aren't hearing spammed repeatedly. So,
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that now. So, like I said, PCB Productions was responsible for the English cast of this game, and oh boy, did they bring some bangers for this one. First and foremost, Steve Bloom, legendary voice actor who is Bill Reiser. The best reference you can get, considering he played Master Contra from Neo Contra of the PS2 era, which is a clone of Bill Reiser, from the villain to the hero. Absolutely amazing. More on that later, though. Here's the...
The obligatory giant alien
The
heart,
alien
right?
heart actually learned something for once.
It has a name?
It has a name.
And it has an arm.
Gomameros King.
it doesn't have a
Gomameros
heart,
King.
though.
Yeah, it was stuck in my head for a second.
So can we get a donation train going?
Yes,
We should.
$5?
We are about to enter our obligatory train level, so if you want to send in your donations for your favorite trains in video games at, let's see, we're 15 minutes into the run. How about a $15 donation train?
And do make sure to include that in the Fight Egg Salamander incentive.
Absolutely,
Don't
yeah.
want to miss it.
When
Let's
you
get
are
those
making your
incentives.
donations at gdq.gg/donate, or if you're using the Twitch charity tool, once you finish donating using the Twitch charity tool, you can authorize the extension using the GDQ joypad icon on your screen, and you can put your donations within 15 minutes towards incentives, bid wars, and the opportunity to win prizes, so do not miss out.
Nicely done, Tree. As always, never missing a beat.
Almost like that's one of my jobs or something.
Exactly. But for real, so also one thing y'all might want to know about me, I like trains.
So is that the Flash?
Yes,
I think that was the Flash.
There are these enemies in this stage that are like literally running to keep up with the train in a hover bike holding giant missiles over their head, and we just start running out of superheroes that we know that run really fast.
They're like RPG characters that just dumped all their points into leg.
It really
That's a thing you can
They
do,
did
right?
not skip leg day.
I mean, yeah, there's also Red Rush from Invincible or A-Train from The Boys.
Wally
Don't-
West, Jay Garrick, Barry Allen.
Barry Fleet of Foot.
Donors, if you want to include in your donation train messages what your favorite speedster hero is, we'd be down for that, or alternatively, your favorite Contra character. And speaking a little bit more on Contra characters, so Bill Reiser and Lance Bean. Lance Bean is voiced by Alejandro Saab, who is a very prolific voice actor. Some of you may know him as Sayu, the cyborg Sayu VTuber, also having played Ignia from Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, and even Shallot from Dragon Ball Legends. That man has gone very much places and then some. We also got Kira Buckland as Lucia making a return from Contra Shattered Soldier. I believe it's Kimberly Brooks as the original character of this game from The Village. We even have KG Tang, Satoru Gojo himself as Brad Fang. It's really cool stuff. I suggest you check it out for yourselves and see what I mean.
That's
And-
the giant robot from Contra 1 late in the game.
Jump.
Riding on a train now.
Let me see if I can pull them up right here. I got my research going on. I know I did my science. Big Bot Gordea.
What?
Big Bot Gordea from the Energy Zone.
I can't possibly. What?
Look, it says it on the wiki. You
So it must be true.
The,
I guess
the
so.
game likes big butts, and it cannot lie.
This is true.
I'd give that a 7 out of 10. All
While
right.
we're waiting for that train to come in, I do want to read $50 from Cow. It's a fact that shouting Contra improves your time. Best of luck with run. Much love from Phoenix, Cow, and Peanut.
Heck yeah, thank you.
Contra!
Yes, we didn't do Contra! I was going to
You
point out
missed
we
your
didn't
cue.
do it after. Yeah, thank you, Becca.
Thanks, Phoenix and KO.
Heck yeah. Okay, so coming up to the next phase of the Big Bot, we've got a callback to Hardcore's Deadeye Joe from the Chase route, which is a really cool perspective shift and then some. And also, I'd argue it's much easier to tell when it's coming to the foreground and being hittable, so
Yes, we have made some advancements over the last couple of decades in game design.
And it's worth noting, cool guys don't look at explosions.
True.
I think we got some time for some donations.
We've got time for a few
You
more.
read my mind.
Let's do it.
Well, we have $10 from LH Nerd Rick. Holy cow, a Mini Boss's live album reference? That makes this old nerd very happy. Contra!
Contra!
We have $10 from Guy Next Door 717. Best of luck with the run, Khanster, and Mr. Cab from GND. Much love, my guys. Contra!
Contra!
Thanks, GND.
We have $100 from Arthur, who says, "Let's go, Contra. What a great game." We
Very
also have
much.
$100 from Yotes, who says, "Run and gun until cancer is done."
You know, come to think of it, the missile guys also do make their appearance in hardcore. There's a lot of hardcore that goes into this game, huh?
There's just a lot of references from across the Contra series. I honestly have not played all the games, but I just love all the classic ones.
I know you brought Shattered Soldier with you, but we haven't quite had the chance to play it yet.
My copy of Shattered Soldier is still in the used game store plastic. I believe a few GDQ legends have referenced it as a very game of all time, and
Yes,
I want to play it.
I know I want to play Neo Contra if I ever get the chance, but yeah, Shattered Soldier, good title theme. Shout out to Smite if you know, you know.
Much akin to the likes of Metal Slug 3D. It is one of those games that definitely exists.
I didn't even know there was a Metal Slug 3D.
Wait,
It's a strange one. I think it's a JP-only PS2 release.
Oh, okay, that'll do it. I guess there was also Contra Rogue Corps, which also did have Bill Reiser as a DLC, so there you have it.
wait, he's DLC?
I think so. I did a little bit of research into that. I still need to kind of play the game though, so don't at me, man. But I get the feeling like we're coming up to the boss, but I don't know, something feels very weird about this. It's like it's yet to noodle its way on into the scene.
It seems like a pretty normal train
Yeah.
to me. It should be fine.
We'll find out just momentarily. I get the feeling we're in for devilish time.
I'm tired of these wall-splitting... My God.
Wednesday midday train.
I'm going to try that again. I'm tired of these wall-clipping snakes
They
on
call
these
this
Wednesday midday train.
All right.
The bits don't always work. I'm sorry.
Note for next time. Too many syllables.
We
Focus on
tried.
the boss fight,
We
boys.
tried.
Samuel L. Jackson would still be proud. All right, and folks, quick little jump scare warning coming up for
And
the
that was
victory
the boss.
screen. That was indeed the boss. Devil Worm down. And yeah,
Wait
like I
for it.
said, yeah, jump scare warning coming up very shortly. Sorry, I couldn't take my own advice.
Snake.
Snake.
Snake. Snake.
Colonel.
Thank you.
Couch is saving us.
We do have $10 from Nether Guardian, who also says, "Contra!"
Contra!
Oh boy.
We also have one from the train station here. We got $15 from AJ11138. Best train is from Factorio for sure, underdog of the game. I'll also take one ticket for this hype train, please. Go fast and let's go GDQ.
Let's go indeed. Got any others, Becca?
Yes, we have $5 from BZ Archer. Does Tracer count as a speedster heroine? I feel like she does. Goes blast those aliens and get more money for PCF. Contra!
Hi, BZ Archer.
What you just saw there was laser actually being used as a platforming tool, because we do have some cycles with the ceiling coming down, as is often the case in run and guns. And so since we had that extra laser to burn, we were able to skip cycles and basically just make an optimal cycle for ourselves here as we go on into the ruins. Another shout out to the likes of Contra Hardcore.
Yeah, this stage in particular is just brutal.
It's
We
a
have-
stage.
We've got those crusher sections. We've got the bubbles from Super C that are just undodgeable. We have the threat of grabbing each other's feet on these platforms as we're trying to fall through. It's a cool little mechanic, but then it usually leads to us just throwing each other into obstacles and losing weapons.
You see, when you first described the idea of being able to grab the other player's feet, I'm like, okay, so if you're out of weapons, you can just grab the other player and throw them at the enemies, but that's apparently not how that works,
If that did damage, that would be cool in its own right.
right?
I mean, Gunstar Heroes, we literally just talked about
True.
that not too long ago.
You can, in fact, pick up the other player and chuck them at the enemies.
It's a little serendipitous that some of the Contra team within some of the games did indeed go to form Treasure, which was the dev behind that game, so
True.
yeah. And yeah, Ruins level. You might have seen this in maybe a few Contra games like Hardcore Uprising. Not as much Indiana Jones traps going on, like no rolling boulders or whatnot.
We do have the giant spike walls.
Yeah,
Spike
give it
walls.
time.
Oh, come on.
Kind of a re-imaging of the energy zone on some level here, though, with like just the fire shooting out everywhere, the spike walls from the hangar. It's like you can see the references, and I appreciate this like complete reimagining of it.
Yeah, this, by the way, is basically treated like its own entity of universe, plot, whatever have you.
Yeah, see, we're about to actually encounter some plot for the first time since arguably level 2, I would say.
Let me grab this. Oh, whatever.
I didn't realize I needed one. Hang on. Okay, we'll get you something.
I mean, you got to give Khanster something. This is his first GDQ run, after all.
It's true.
It's true.
And let's give it up for Khanster, everybody. This man's been part of the community for years.
Years. All right, you got this machine gun, right? So, yeah, there is some plot here. This is like the original Contra warrior. He's here guarding this temple because there's, I think it's a Tesseract, something that's creating a gravity shield around Earth to prevent the alien invasion from happening because that would be really bad, and there's an alien here that's trying to go steal it, and we're here to stop him.
Yep, this warrior, if I remember correctly, appropriately named Beowulf,
Yes.
after Warriors of Legend.
It's true. I had to read that in high school.
I think I did too. Or at the very
In
least,
modern
you want
English, or?
I'm pretty sure it was modern English.
Okay.
Okay, I also have another special donation. We have $50 from Andrew, who says, programmer from Contra Operation Galuga here.
Yo!
Let's go. More dev donos. Love it.
Excited to see Contra showing up at AGDQ and looking forward to seeing the best boss dragon god Java getting absolutely destroyed.
Oh, you spoiled it.
Whoops.
No. That's nothing against you, Becca. Thank you, Andrew, so much. Okay, look, my mind's a little fuzzy from time to time, but this is some real big fuzz at best. This is a boss that first appeared in Contra 3 Alien Wars and also made its return in Contra 4 in the second base stage. Now it's back, trying to give its hulking titanium frame a huge flaming fire breath. Wait, did it do that in the original? I may be behind on my research, but
Don't lose your head over this run.
I thought I made the dad jokes here.
Wait.
That's all right. Contra! When in doubt, just yell Contra.
Real fast, we have $15 from George, who says $15 train. My favorite train is from the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, also sending this towards the incentive. We are almost $5,000 out of that $15,000 to meet that incentive to see that extra boss. Let's go.
let's go.
You absolutely want to see the Egg Salamander. Kirby's an absolute legend at the DS games, and that fight in particular is really something special.
Truly. And hey, just think of it this way, folks. We do have a bid war for Sonic and Blaze, but if you meet that incentive, you get to see both of them. And not just Supersonic, but Burning Blaze. One of the coolest super forms in the Sonic franchise.
Sonic,
my opinions.
You ever say Sonic for the run, Burning Blaze for the boss?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
I think it would be great considering that, yeah, we love Blaze. In fact, shout out to Erica Schroeder, but I think that would be the first time we've seen Sonic and Sonic Rush at a GDQ. So that's my personal opinion, but don't let me stop you from voting for your favorite character, folks. And with
Or
that,
your favorite trains, for that matter. We still have that
favorite
train going.
trains, yes. Yes, let's see if we can definitely get that going as soon as we can. Because Becca, I'm pretty sure Sonic Rush is next, right?
It is indeed.
So there will be time to get to that incentive, but only until Kirby defeats the Egg King, I believe it's called, which is the final main
Option.
story boss. Option. Shoot
Different
the
characters
core.
with different weapons here.
Oh God, not another jump scare.
Hey, it's this guy.
It's Ridley.
He does seem to get around, doesn't he?
That thing is always being reprogrammed for more devastation.
People will argue that Ridley shows up in too many Metroid games, but what you didn't know is that he also shows up in Contra.
Yeah. Contra! So I also do believe that is a boss that has previously appeared in... Oh, I guess I'd actually have
Contra
to think about
3
that
comes
one.
to mind.
Yeah, I was thinking Contra 3, but then I was second-guessing myself. Never always second-guess yourself, folks. Safety is fine, but just go with your gut sometimes. It's what these Contras do. And, yeah, well, then again, no. Brownie's a robot. He doesn't really have a gut. He's got a torso, though.
It's true. I mean, it's a real glow up in terms of visual. Like, personally, I'm a big fan of the hardcore design where he's just a little guy, because I love little guys in video games, but this is good, too.
Yeah, it removes the odd job effect if you know your GoldenEye, but
Granted.
also it does take away from the hover, but from a double jump to a triple jump, and also they gave his armor some brown accents. That's fitting to his operative nickname. It's
true.
It's good design work in my opinion. And speaking of good design work, you remember this guy from Super C?
Oh, he looks so cute.
I like him.
He's got the aura of a mind flayer. What does cute even come to mind for? That is the question.
I don't know how I survived that one.
That is also a good question.
We had the Team 4-star donation earlier, so I have to say, he's so cute, Vegeta!
I still can't believe they actually donated to. I had the pleasure of meeting Kaiser Neko and Lanny Pator last year in Rhode Island. So, yeah, shout out to the real ones. Thanks, guys.
And shout out to the Rickster and that awesome DBZ buddy.
Contra!
Ricky is such a wonderful PlayStation Nation member at that. And also Contra.
We do have $25 from Tara who says Contrans, right?
Hey.
Contrans!
Thank you, Tara. All right. We got any more donos going on?
We do. We had a lot of love for the Doom Train from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, I love suplexes.
But I would say before or after it gets suplexed.
That's 6, yeah. I was about to say, I think that's 6. $15 from Joe, Doom Train from Final Fantasy VIII. $10 from Koraya, favorite train, gotta be Doom Train from Final Fantasy. $15 from Kazran, my favorite train is Trains Rights. We also have $25 from the Stall Baby, Choo Choo Contra.
Contra!
And we do have the $10 from EK. Sorry, not 10K. $10 from EK. My favorite train is the kind you can suplex. So yes, there is love for the suplex.
That's Ghost Train, Phantom Train.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good old Final Fantasy VI. Shout out to my buddy Bramall the Fifth, who's doing stage tech right now. And also, I think we can totally press that trans right button going on here.
Yes, trains rights.
Trains rights and trans rights. Trans rights are human rights, folks. What else can I say? So, moving into the rest of this level, we did defeat Varanus, who was the alien commander benefactor of the Red Falcon army, and wanted the Tesseract to destroy the gravity shield and have his race invade Earth. And now we're going through even more of what, I guess the terminology my friend David TKI came up with is the meat level, which is something you often see at the end of NES games. Love you, David. But that's also...
We were trying to stop the aliens, and now we're in the alien. The belly of the beast, if you will.
The belly of the beast. And yeah, this is the final stage. So we are coming up pretty soon to the final boss. So I think this is a good time as ever to shout out the Contra community. If you would like to learn any Contra game for yourself, the Contra Discord is available. The link is on any Contra speedrunning leaderboard. Whether you play Operation C, if it's a Contra Force, any platform, whatever suits your fancy, we're here to help you along the way if you wish to speedrun the game. And we also just appreciate casual fans along the way as well. I could speak from experience being a longtime Hardcore Uprising runner. These guys are the real true warriors right there, and they've been nothing but kind to me, and thank you all. Thank you so much. And yeah, T-Tree, any words you'd like to say?
Yeah, from me, shout-outs to games that you can just get into and start playing. That, for me, is what got me from being a host, being a volunteer for events like this, into speedrunning myself. I found the right game. It was Shredder's Revenge a few years ago, where I just started playing it, and it was like, yeah, that felt really good. I could do that faster. And whether that game is something like Contra for you, as Tempest mentioned, with a very welcoming community, whatever game that might be, if it's an RPG that you loved as a kid, just give it a try. There are so many different kinds of speedruns out there, partial game categories, with extra assists. Shout out to the Celeste community and other games that are really built with assistive tech and gameplay design in mind. Whatever it is for you, if speedrunning is something you're interested in, give it a try, find the way that works for you, and just have fun with it. You do not need to run for anyone other than yourself.
Just grab a controller. You don't even really need the timer at first. Just play the game.
Sorry, did you say grabbed? Because I think we just... No, never mind. You already saw.
I hate Java.
The previously mentioned
Demon Dragon God Java, not to be confused with Emperor Demon Gava.
Also known as the Java Monster.
Is indeed a Java.
Is he a programmer?
I left my programming work at home. I don't want to deal with Java today.
Look, I go back to work tomorrow. What can I tell you guys? And more importantly, this is the final boss. Time will not be on the final hit, but we do have a few phases, mainly concerning those eyes to start with. And then once that's down, the brain will reveal itself in one final reference to Contra 3, The Alien Wars, the brain known as Cyril. And so we're going to get ready for that. Cab and Khanster will handle when timing is stopped, but for now, how the heck did it hide that third eye behind that cranium? I don't understand.
All right, time's gonna be when we fall off the bottom of the screen.
And what says stage completed. And
Any minute.
They are
now.
going to catch you, right?
Maybe.
Time.
Okay, good.
There we go.
go, Contra.
GG, guys.
We did it.
GG.
Cab, Khanster, any shout outs from you too?
Leaderboard goes by in-game time for anybody checking at home. Nice.
Nice.
That's a recorded PB.
BP.
So let's go. Shouts to my wife, my family. They let me come out here and let me have a good time. I love it. Shouts to everybody here. Khanster, thank you. Thank everybody on this back couch letting me yell Contra like an idiot for a half hour. I love it. I've been up here too many times. Khanster, you go.
Shouts to my friends and family back home and these guys back here. And GDQ for having me.
Shoutouts to Tech. Always shoutouts to Tech back here for putting up with us.
I think it's worth mentioning as we conclude this run that PCF is doing some absolutely wonderful work. Cab and Khanster have given me permission to quickly talk about this. I'm sure there have been a lot of people who've lost family members so beloved to cancer. I've lost my great aunt and my grandma, and most recently in November of last year, we had to say goodbye to our beloved dog, Sammy, a true warrior. We miss you, buddy. We really, really miss you. And we'll keep the fight going for you. Thank you all so much for supporting PCF. Let's keep this going. Let's reach $1 million very soon and hope that one of these days, cancer will be a thing of the past. GDQ, on behalf of all of us here, take care, everyone. Ciao, amici.